Hello, welcome back to the Boardgames 4K YouTube channel, and this is a channel where we give you reviews, playthroughs, unboxings, generally talk a load of bollocks about tabletop gaming in general. And in this video we're going to be talking about a very small card game that will soon be available on Kickstarter. We're going to be talking about Overstocked, and this is a game where you'll be running a warehouse, filling it full of toys from the 90s, playing cards on a table to try and score points, whilst at the same time trying to avoid overstocking your warehouse with toys that are too popular, right? So in this video, I'm going to be giving you a very brief overview of the rules, but telling you what we do like, we don't like. And we'll come back and we'll tell you whether or not Overstocked is worth backing on Kickstarter when it becomes available later on in the year. So remember, if you're new here, please consider subscribing to this channel. Leave a comment in that section down below, and we'll see you after this.
Boardgames 4K.
So, Overstocked. How'd you play this game? So Overstocked is a card game, and it consists of a deck of cards. Really, that's basically what's in the game. And on this card is like a grid with different icons that relate to different types of toys that were sort of available in the 90s. We couldn't name them more. I know there's a Tamagotchi in there and all that sort of stuff, but I think, what's the other one? You got a yo-yo as well, but the other ones, I didn't have a clue what they were. But there's different icons on these cards in a grid, and you've also got warehouse workers on these cards which do a certain thing, right? So what you're going to do, you're going to take the deck of crate cards, you're going to shuffle them, and you're going to deal each player 6 cards, right? So each round, everyone is going to choose one of their crate cards, right? And what they'll do, they'll choose one, put it face down in front of them, and then everybody will reveal their card simultaneously, yeah? And what you do, you look at each card, and each card's got a number, and the player who played the lowest crate card will be the first to place their card either in their warehouse in front of them or in what's called the popularity, which is in the center of the table, right? So when you place your card into the warehouse or the popularity, you've got to make sure that your card is covering at least 1 or 2 visible spaces. You've got to make sure that the cards line up with the edges of the spaces which they're covering, and you've also got to ensure that you don't cover up any workers, right? Because otherwise they get suffocated and crushed by a load of Tamagotchis, you know what I mean? So you can rotate your card 90 degrees either way, increments of 90 degrees, you know what I mean? But essentially you just be playing your card either into the center or in your personal tableau. So the game ends after 6 rounds once everyone's played all their crate cards, and then you do a bit of final scoring, right? So what you'll do, you will find the number of matching crates in the largest area that's connected, and connected is adjacent, right? In both the warehouse in front of you and the popularity in the center of the table, and then you'll multiply these 2 numbers together. But you have to be aware that the number that comes out of popularity will affect your score negatively, right? So for instance, if the yo-yo is the toy that has the largest connected area in the warehouse, then that number will be sort of a negative multiplier. Does that make sense? So then what you do, you'll tot up on the score pad for each toy and all that sort of thing, and the player with the most points will be the winner of Overstocked. So what do we like about Overstocked? So the first thing that we like about Overstocked is the scoring at the end of the game reminds us distinctly of what it's like to play like a Ryan and Kanicha game. Do you know what I mean? Immediately we thought about Medici when we played this, because in Medici your victory points are the amount of money you've got, but you've got to spend your money or victory points to get more victory points, right? And it's the same sort of thing with this. It provides you with an opportunity to manipulate the game in the center, in the popularity, but that will also affect you negatively as well. So it's like this sort of weird twist at the end of the game that is sort of counterintuitive, if you know what I mean. But that's what we like, is a tried and tested mechanism. So the second thing we really like about Overstocked is the fact it don't take too long to play, thankfully, right? It's a very quick game. There's only 6 rounds. You're going to be, basically what it boils down to is you're going to be looking at your hand, looking at the table, thinking, well, where is this best going to fit? And then you're just going to chuck your card down and hope for the best. And the fact that it only lasts 6 rounds means that the experience isn't going to drag itself out. It's probably on the nose the right length for a game of this type, you know what I mean? So the third thing that we really like about Overstocked is they've added the element of the worker that can sort of mix things up a little bit. Not only have you got to be careful about where you put the worker in your warehouse, because you don't want to sort of place workers in a space that's going to give you points there, but you can also place workers in a strategic place in the popularity that will add a bit of take that to this game. You know what I mean? If you can place your worker in such a position where other players want to go, they won't be able to go there, will they? You're not allowed to put your cards on top of a worker, right? So it is a sort of very kind of minimal, but it's there. There is a little bit of take that in this game. So what don't we like about Overstocked? So the first thing that we don't like about Overstocked is the theme. It's a bit weird. It's going to isolate people, right? Because we had trouble. I mean, we lived through the 90s. We know about all these toys and the cult toys in the 90s, right? We struggled to identify exactly what these toys are. Okay, we knew what Tamagotchi was. What we got here? You got a Tamagotchi. Is that a Furby? I'm not sure. You got a yo-yo, but I've no idea what the other one is, and I'm not entirely sure what they mean. And it's only going to appeal to a certain distinct group of people, you know, I mean, people that actually played with these toys in the 90s. I'm a little bit too old for that, I think. I don't look it, but I'm a little bit too old for that. And if you're born this side of the millennium, you're not going to know either, right? So it just seems that the theme is a bit bizarre. So the next thing that we don't like about Overstocked is the way it looks. It's all washed out. The actual illustrations of the toys don't match what they look like in reality, right? There's just these weird illustrations that use pastel colours, and the box looks better than the actual components. The box actually looks quite professional, you know what I mean? It looks really, really good. But when you get down into the cards, okay, it's not, obviously the copy we got isn't going to be, we're hoping it's not going to be the final production, but the colours are muted. You've got these horrible pastel green colours, these sort of shades of like beige, and it just looks horrible. It's just horrible to look at. So the third thing that we don't like about Overstocked is the scoring mechanism. Doesn't really make any sense, does it? The way it works is that you're going to get negative points for the most popular toy that generates the most space in the popularity is going to score you negative points. Now, you would think, wouldn't you, that the most popular toy would score you the most points, but no. I think they've realised that this is a bit of a quandary, right? But they've added, in the rules, they've added something saying this toy is too popular, the craze has peaked, everyone is so done with this toy, your supervisor would like to know why you ordered so much of it. And that makes absolutely no sense, because that's the whole point of the game. You're trying to get stuff into both things, right? I don't know. So the final thing that we don't like about Overstocked is that when this game gets to like the fifth round, it just turns into this sea of icons. And I don't know, maybe you might find it a little bit different, but I found myself struggling to keep focused on my area and the area, and looking at, you've got to sort of look at other people's warehouses as well to see what they're after, what they're trying to do. And it just turned into this weird hypnotic mess of icons. It was like looking at one of those colorblind charts, you know, where you're trying to find out what the number is. And there's a couple of pages in those books where there's no number at all. And that's what it looks like to me. It's like trying to make sense of this garbled mess. And I just found myself just thinking, you know what? I can't be bothered with this. And I'll just chuck the card anywhere and just see what happens. You know what I mean? So to summarize, is Overstocked worth your time and effort when it appears on Kickstarter later this year? We are going to say probably not. You know, it's an average card game that offers very little in both strategy and also quality of components. I mean, obviously, this is a sort of a pre-Kickstarter thing, so maybe the card quality is going to be better than that. Well, we hope so. But the main thing that we were thinking about when we were playing this, we thought, why would we want to play this when we could just dig out Medici and have a better time with it? There's not really that much here. The fact that it's just down to 6 cards means that you cannot manipulate what cards you got. You're going to be given these random cards and you'll just be trying to make the best of it. 9 times out of 10, you'll be trying to go for a strategy where you're trying to hunker down on maybe like the yo-yos or something, and then somebody will come along and then just make a mess of it in the popularity, which is going to dash both your strategy in your own warehouse and in the center, you know. So it just seems like we were pulling our hair out every time we played this. But having said that, the theme might appeal to a certain group of people. It is quite fun watching your factory grow, but there's just not enough game here for us personally. So we're going to give Overstocked 2 out of 5. It's just an average card game that we probably won't be playing that much of. So, but that's Overstocked. Remember, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel. Leave a comment in that section down below. We'll see you next time.